Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for being with us today in this chilly but beautiful room, and welcome to EPA. My name is Jessica Kramer, and I am a senior advisor to the administrator focusing on issues related to the Office of Water, and I will be your MC for today. We are so excited today to be joined by federal and state partners, including Department of Interior Secretary Doug Burgum, Senator Shelley Capito, and Congressman Riley Moore. Thank you for being with us. We have an exciting run of show planned for today, so without further ado, I would ask you to please join me in welcoming EPA's Administrator Lee Zeldin to the podium.
Thank you. Jess Kramer, the President's nominee to be the Assistant Administrator in the Office of Water here at EPA. It's great to have Jess here, and thank you all for attending what has been a long time coming. And for Chairman Capito, for then Governor, now Senator Justice, Congressman Riley Moore, for the West Virginia congressional delegation, they have been fighting so hard to advance the principle of cooperative federalism, understanding that West Virginia would do an exceptional job if granted primacy over Class 6 wells. They knew it, they fought hard for it, and it's something that the rest of the country has been watching with inspiration, because the spirit of cooperative federalism is one that is alive and well right now in the Trump administration. President Trump, when he was first in office, signed off on primacy for North Dakota. First and foremost, you'll hear from then Governor, our now Secretary of Interior, and this is a model that should inspire other requests and approvals all across the country. We here at EPA respect the talent that's out there at the states, the understanding of how to do it better and faster, and we want to partner with states all across the entire country to ensure that laws like the Safe Drinking Water Act and other laws as well are being implemented in a way that is efficient, and one that America can be incredibly proud of. It is my honor as I sign today this primacy for West Virginia to be joined by a number of special guests who Jess had referenced and I just did as well. First, you'll be hearing from our new Secretary of the Interior, Doug Burgum, who has really hit the ground running at the Department of Interior. He is someone, as governor of the state of North Dakota, is extremely familiar with how this program can work really well at the state level. Before I bring him up, I just want to say that to the chair of the Senate EPW committee who's here, Shelley Capito, the confirmation process that I went through after meeting with all the members of the committee on the Republican side and the Democratic side to hear their priorities, experiencing that process with her as chair with a very well-run confirmation hearing, not just the people of West Virginia have a fighter for them here to make something like this a reality. And we wouldn't be here today if not for Chairman Capito and her fight, and Governor Justice, now Senator Justice, and that congressional delegation. So while it will be Secretary Burgum who will be introducing Chairman Capito next, I just want to give a very special shout out. Lastly, I just want to say thank you to everyone here at EPA who has worked on this to make it possible. Everyone with the EPA staff who did their due diligence with clear purpose and intent, dedicated to EPA's core mission of protecting human health and the environment. We're grateful for so many career staff here at EPA who all did their part to make this possible. With that said, at this time, I'd like to introduce the Secretary of the Interior, Doug Burgum.
Thank you, Administrator Zeldin. Lee, it's great to be here with you and your team. This is a very special day, and thank you for your leadership, and thank you also for serving an important role on the National Energy Dominance Council, which President Trump created last Friday by executive order, because you're going to play a key role in that as well, you and your whole team here at EPA. I also want to jump in the congratulations, and Senator Chair Capito, thank you for your leadership in an energy state. You've been so strong, first in Congress and now as a senator, and fighting for your state and fighting for the importance of clean energy in our country. Thank you for that. And of course, Representative Moore, you're off to a great start. Great to have you in Congress and great to have you here today. I would be here today even if I wasn't Secretary of Interior. I actually believe that. I think I would have, as a former governor, I would have flown to DC to be here to celebrate this simple thing, which people don't understand. I mean, we're here to talk about awarding the state of West Virginia with primacy over the ability to control their destiny about injecting CO2 into their incredible geology that they have. Geologic storage makes so much sense for our country. And as Lee mentioned, back in 2018, when I was governor, North Dakota was the first state to achieve primacy. And of course, achieving primacy means that you're essentially granted that authority out from underneath federal control. And when that happens, good things happen. I mean, we've permitted all kinds of CO2 storage wells. We've permitted some of the largest CO2 storage areas in the country. We've done all of that in timeframes that have been as short as 6 months from the beginning of the permitting application. And we've done that without any risk to the environment. I mean, the United States federal government was created by the states. The states created the federal government. They gave they gave the federal government a specific set of responsibilities. The rest of those were remanded to the states. And when you have the environmental group within the DEQ with different initials in different states, but when you have that in a state, when you turn the power of the federal government back to the states where it rightfully belongs, guess what? Those people live there. They care about the water, the soil health, the air. They care about that more than any possible someone coming in from the outside could. And so this is not a risk to delegate to responsible energy states. It's actually the way that our country was set up, and it allows the formation of capital. In North Dakota, after the Class 6 injection well permits came in, we had a record amount of capital investment coming into our states. Tens of billions of dollars flowing into the states. And what were some of those uses? Well, some of those uses were capture for low carbon fuels. I mean, we've got a ethanol plant in North Dakota that is sold recently for a record amount. Fantastic for the farmers, fantastic for the corn growers. And they were selling into markets where people were willing to pay a premium for zero carbon fuels, because you can take all the CO2 off of ethanol very easily and capture it and inject it. But we also had people that were doing Class 6 injection wells for enhanced oil recovery. We had a company that was pulling all the CO2 off of a gas plant in Wyoming. They built a 110-mile pipeline, came into southwestern North Dakota into an area where we had historic 1980s oil wells, not the new modern Bakken wells that have been so productive. But in that vertical well field versus the horizontal, which the Bakken is, they injected the CO2 that came off the gas plant. They were injecting more CO2 into the ground that stayed there than the barrel of oil was producing. So we have in North Dakota an oil production company that's greener than Patagonia. 40% more CO2 stays down than the barrel of oil produces. And all of this is about at 1/15 the cost of all the subsidies that were going in to try to save a ton of CO2 through all the EV subsidies combined. So in North Dakota, and I believe in the Trump administration, absolutely the focus is going to be on innovation, not on regulation as a way to solve the problems, because there's always new ways to achieve that. That's the key to the prosperity of our country. And West Virginia, having this primacy, they're going to see the same thing that North Dakota is the fourth state, because it's North Dakota, then Wyoming, then Louisiana, now West Virginia. They're going to see the same thing. There will be economic opportunities, there'll be innovation, there'll be capital flowing to figure out what to do with that captured CO2. So with that, I want to just close by saying that this is a great day for West Virginia, and it's a great day for America because we're delegating responsibility back to the states where it can be, where it belongs and where it can be responsibly executed. And again, at the end of the day, and part of the EPA's mission is to make sure that we've got clean air, clean water, clean soil health, all of those things. But this action helps move us in that direction. And I want to say again, congratulations to all the staff at EPA and to Lee and your team and to the leadership in West Virginia. And of course, I know both the former Governor Justice, who wasn't able to be here today, and the new Governor Morrissey, know both of those folks through our times as governor. But I just want to say again, congratulations to all. And again, thank you. Congratulations to West Virginia, and thank you, EPA, for making this really a smart execution that's going to help move America forward. Lastly, I would say again, Energy Dominance Council. I want to, people might be saying, hey, what's that all about? Well, when America, we produce energy cleaner, stronger, and safer than anywhere else in the world. Shutting down U.S. energy so that our adversaries, like Russia and like Iran, can fund wars against us. Shutting down energy in U.S. And saying we're going to go all EV so that China, who were in a Cold War and a cyber war every day, say that they're controlling 85% of the rare earth minerals. They don't do reclamation. They use child labor abroad when they're developing those minerals. For us to think that we're solving a global problem by shifting our demand in the U.S. and subsidizing demand here to buy batteries made from critical minerals in China is foolhardy for us to do that. If we want to have a clean environment and a world where people can prosper and people can live safely, U.S. has to lead. And President Trump understands that we need to be very simply selling energy to our friends and allies versus having them buy it from our adversaries. That's the path to world peace. That's the path to prosperity for our country. And EPA and decisions like today for West Virginia are the things that put us on that path. So thanks very much. My honor now. Give it up for an incredible chair, an incredible senator, former congressman. She's from the heart of Appalachia, but Shelley Moore, Capito. Give it up for her right now.
Well, it's great to be introduced by our new Secretary of the Interior. He's hitting the ground running as Lee Zeldin is here as the administrator of the EPA, and it's an exciting time, I think. And it's great that he's number one and we're number 4 now to get the primacy from, we learned a lot from North Dakota. We just had a hearing in our EPW committee where the North Dakota folks came in and told us how important the primacy issue is and how much it's benefited. So we're really excited to be here. It's great to be here with our new representative, Riley Moore, who's no stranger to me because he's my nephew. And so I've known him his entire life. He's doing a great job. He's really, I think, going to be an amazing representative. I'm very excited for him and his future. I'm sorry, Governor Justice, so I call him Governor Justice still, then Governor Justice, but Senator Justice is not here today. I would like to recognize 2 of his staff members who are not here either. We're having flooding and snow at home right now. Harold Ward and Scott Mandarola. We rely on them every day at DEP in West Virginia because you know what? West Virginians know West Virginia best. These professionals that work in our state agencies that interact with EPA every single day, they can formulate what's going to work in North Dakota. This is going to be different that works in West Virginia, that works and certainly in Louisiana. And so I wanted to give Scott and Harold a shout out because they really have been fantastic. You know, I don't think we can undersell what the importance of cooperative federalism is. We kept talking about it over the last 4 years, committee after committee, saying, quit trying to take the primacy from our states. Let our states make the decisions. Yes, EPA, be the overarching responsible agency to give us the guidelines and give us the expertise and make sure we're within the guidelines, but really let us work together to make sure that we get not just the best results, the quickest results, probably the most economic results, and probably the most long-lasting results. And so I'm very pleased that we're here today to talk about the Class 6 primacy for West Virginia. We are an energy-rich state. It's an energy-rich history that we have. We've powered this country for a long time in West Virginia. And we have a lot of the expertise in innovation. I love to hear you talk about innovation. We have the National Energy Technology Lab in Morgantown that works a lot on carbon sequestration. I've worked across the aisle in EPW committee to make sure that we have tax incentives and other things put in place so that we can have that we can use the carbon capture and sequestration, either use it for enhanced oil recovery or other things. So I'm very excited. But I want to say that Lee Zeldin is going to be a fantastic. He made it sound like I shepherded him through. I did not shepherd him through. He was so thorough. And when he told me all the things he'd been reading, I really honestly couldn't believe it. He was reading all the briefs and all the papers. So by the time he got to all of us senators, he was so much more well-informed than we could possibly be, that we couldn't even think of a question to stump him with. But so congratulations to you. And I know you have excellent judgment, because Jess Kramer, who is going to be the nominee for water, was one of my very first staffers on the EPW committee when I came in 2015. And I see Andrew Wheeler, who just happens a former administrator of EPA, but also has West Virginia ties. You're going to learn it's all about West Virginia today. So Andrew, it's nice to see you as well. So with that, thank you for this. Thank you for speeding this along. This will be a great signing. I hope Mr. Secretary, that capital doesn't flow from North Dakota to West Virginia, but it just enhances in West Virginia, because there's plenty to go around. And we look forward to it in West Virginia. So I want to say congratulations to Senator Justice. He was obviously governor when this was being pushed. I'm sorry our governor is not here today, but as I said, we have had a lot of flooding in West Virginia, and he's doing what governors need to do, which is to make sure that people are safe and healthy. So with that, I get to introduce our new representative from West Virginia 2, Riley Moore. Riley has hit the ground running on appropriations. He is no stranger to West Virginia, former House of Delegates member, former state treasurer of this great state of West Virginia. So Riley, hop on up here and join in the celebration. Thank you.
Well, it's always nice getting introduced by your aunt. And no, it's great being here with you all. And as you heard Senator Capito say, we do have some really bad flooding down in southern West Virginia. So obviously my thoughts and prayers are with them, as we've been asking for an emergency declaration there. But yeah, it's a really tough situation. But of course, I want to take a moment to praise President Trump and the EPA for granting our state's request to manage the permitting process. And really, this administration, I mean, this is an all-star cabinet. It's really quite unbelievable what we have going on here in this administration, just so singularly focused on trying to make this country great again, energy independent, energy superpower, and everyone just working in concert together. So it's very exciting. Time for a state like West Virginia, who's the 5th largest energy producer in the United States, just little old West Virginia. So with this waiver, West Virginia will be, as we've heard, just the 4th state to directly manage CO2 well injection. My philosophy on this is certainly simple. The more we can get these policy decisions out of Washington and in the hands of the states, the better. There's no doubt in my mind that the decision-making process can and will be more effectively and efficiently managed by those who are most directly impacted. So I'm excited to see this, and we'll support new jobs in our state, and we'll certainly be able to continue to monitor this situation and hopefully get some of the flow of that capital down to West Virginia would be great. But again, just keep it brief, and it's such a pleasure to be here with all of you today. And I also still call him governor too. But I know he can't be here today, and we got a couple of their staff back here, Rebecca and Where's the other one? Oh, there he is. Hey, Brian Abraham, there he is. All right. So, and he was there too. He was Governor Justice's chief of staff, and so is Rebecca. So we got the whole crew. So, but in any event, thank you all so very much. Very exciting. Thank you, Administrator Zeldin, and thank you, Secretary Burgum. So excited for the great state of West Virginia. God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Congressman Moore. Before we conclude today's ceremony, I'd like to invite our speakers to join the administrator at the table for our signing. I'd also like to invite our staff who really made this happen to join for the signing as well. We'll have a couple photographs, and that will conclude the program for today. Thank you so much for joining us.
What's next on that?